It's a very busy day in the kitchen, and I have my collection of jars ready to go. They are clean, and we're going to do a lot of pickling today. I had some things I wanted to pickle. The big guy had his own thoughts as to what needed to be pickled and what he wanted. So we're going to try to work all that out at the same time. Now these are some beautiful jalapeno peppers that I found on sale. So I'm going to give them a little wash. They're in nice cool water. We're going to sprinkle in a little baking soda and just get them scrubbed up. Make sure they're nice and clean. All right. Now, the first thing we want to do is to get these jalapenos sliced up. And I'm going to try to fill this jar of peppers. I also have some minced garlic. We're going to add that into the mixture. We're going to have a little bit of salt, a little bit. We want these sliced pretty thin as well, so keep that in mind. And just take your time. And if you don't mind the heat, then you can leave the seeds in. But if you want to take the seeds out, then you can certainly do that. I'm okay with what we've got. I'm going to save these little tops because sometimes I use the actual meat around the top to go in other dishes. So I'm going to hold on to the tops. Okay. So I'm just going to continue to slice these up nice and thin. And when it looks like I have enough to fill this jar, we'll actually start putting them in. Then we'll work on the brine. So let's take those. And I know, if you need gloves or if you're afraid to accidentally touch your face, and certainly you don't want to do that, not when you're working with jalapenos. Okay, let's see if we can get all of those in there. And I'm going to press them down tight. You will love having these because if you like spice, like we do, then you're going to be able to use these on chilies and soups, salads, whatever you like your jalapenos on. Hot dogs, all the fun stuff. So I've got all that in. All right, we're going to need to make our brine. So we're going to let these sit. I'm going to clean up these seeds. Now I'm going to add a cup of water to our measuring cup. And I'm also going to put in a cup of boiling hot water. So vinegar's there. We will need some more. I'm going to add a tablespoon. We're going to add some garlic. Equivalent to about 2 minced cloves. So maybe just a tiny bit more. There we go. And that. And I'm going to need a little bit of sugar. I hope I have enough. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's where I'm going to stop it at 4 tablespoons of sugar. And we'll give this a taste before we go on. We're also going to need a tablespoon of salt. All of that to mix. Give it a taste. I think it has just enough sugar. May need a little more salt. Salt's important in the brine. Okay, now let's put in 1 cup of boiling hot water. 1 cup of boiling hot water brings us up to 2 cups of the brine. Now our sugar's dissolved, salt's dissolved. Let's see. Oh, I think that's good. I do think at this point it needs a tad bit more sweetener. It calls for a 1/3 cup, but I think a 1/3 for me is just a little too much. Give that a minute. Have some little pieces of garlic that I want to take out. Okay, now what I'm going to do is that, even though this is warm, I'm going to put this into the microwave for 2 minutes so it can really get hot. Then we're going to pour it over our jalapenos that we have that are here, sliced and ready to go. And we'll be ready to brine those jalapenos. The brine is out of the microwave, and I'm going to give these peppers a really good press. And then we'll start to pour the brine. We bring it in just a tad bit closer. We got a spoon or a fork. Pressing them down. Now we have just a tad bit of brine left. We'll use that later. But I'm going to put that off to the side. And while this is nice and hot, I'll go ahead and put the top on it. We are not going to water bath can it. We are going to give it a good zhuzh. Get that garlic all throughout the jalapenos. And there we've got it, our pickled jalapenos. Now I'm going to wait till these cool off a little bit, then I'll put them into the refrigerator, and they should last about 3 to 4 weeks in the refrigerator. The big guy requested giardiniera, and you know, it actually comes from northern Italy, and it's their way of preserving their summer vegetables from the garden, and they use them for year-round. And you know, very often you find that they are in many of the Italian homes in their refrigerators. And now in the United States, especially in Chicago, it involved making this substance into a spicy oil-packed relish that's used on Italian beef sandwiches, hot dogs, and pizza. Now, I may not use it on those particular items, but when the big guy asks, we try to get it done. Now, the good thing is that it's low in calories and fat. It has a lot of fiber because of the cauliflower, the carrots, the celery, the peppers, and anything else you might decide to add into it. And in this case, it's pickled. I am not going to go through the canning process with this. I'm just going to keep these in the refrigerator because I know they're not going to last long. And the nice thing about making it at home is that there are no preservatives or additives. The giardiniera that we're making tonight is hot, and it includes lots of cauliflower florets. You see that I have already prepped those. I have carrots. I have, actually in this bowl, I have some broccoli, but I did not include the broccoli. I only took out the vegetables that I was going to use. I also have some celery that I chopped. I use red and green bell peppers, or if you only have one or the other, you can certainly do that. I used some of the jalapenos. I put those in there, and you could certainly use serrano peppers if you like it a little hotter, and slice those up and place them into the jar as well. I minced 2 cloves of garlic. I added in some dried oregano, some peppers, some lots of salt, as well as we added in white vinegar, a touch of water, and then the olive oil. Now for the batch that I'm making, I'm going to put the recipe down in the description box so you will have it. I'm also going to place it in the next newsletter so that you're able, for those of you who receive the newsletter, you'll be able to get your recipe and it will be sent directly to you. Now, while we pack these jars full of all kinds of vegetables, olives, onions, all kinds of goodies, we're also going to talk a little bit about giardiniera. Giardiniera, is pickled. And the vinegar that we're using helps to preserve the vegetables. It also adds that touch of acidity, and that helps to fight bacteria and extend the shelf life. Now, if it's fermented, then there's a nice salt brine, and there's no oil, and it breaks down the sugars and produces a probiotic, which is excellent for digestion and immune health. Now, when we eat it, then a lot of this process takes place within the body. So the vinegar-based giardiniera is quick, it's tangy, and it is absolutely delicious. Now, if you do a fermented version, keep this in mind that it's milder. It's not going to be as sour, but it's going to be probiotic rich. But the style we're fixing today is the classic Chicago style that is refrigerated. They're packed in olive oil and all kinds of good veggies. Now, once the jars are filled with all the good veggies, then you're ready to stir the brine one more time and pour it over the veggies. And you're going to put the tops on them, let them sit out for just a little while to make sure that everything is cool, and then place them into the refrigerator, and they will last a good month in the refrigerator. Now, one more thing. Here's a salad that I make all summer long, and it is so simple. All you need are cherry tomatoes, or you can even use a regular tomato that you've cubed, lots of slices of cucumber. You'll want some onion. You choose a particular onion that you like, and you're going to mix that together. Add some Italian dressing, and you have a delicious summer salad that can stay in your refrigerator for up to about 3 to 4 days, that you can take out what you want, put it back into the refrigerator, and continue to let it sit. But it is delicious, and I think you'll like it. Whether you're using your jalapenos to top chili or a sandwich or even pizza, or your giardiniera to top whatever sandwich that you might have made, or maybe you're just eating it in a bowl. Either way, both of these nice pickly jars of vegetables are going to be delicious. And you know that salad that we put in the refrigerator? Imagine coming home, having a wonderful dinner, and having a bowl of this salad on the side. Mwah! It's going to be good. Come back to the kitchen of Ebony, Ivy, and Thyme, because it's here where home cooks are sharing their recipes and making your time in the kitchen lots of fun. I look forward to seeing you next week.